Hi Janet, this is MindTap, and the way that I got to it was I went to your instructor account, so you can see that I'm logged in as you. So it's just Cengage.com, and then when you come up, then I've created a MindTap course right down here called Records Management. So when you launch that, this is what you get. So it's broken up into the 3 different parts, just like the book is, and you can have a couple different views. There's a weekly view if the students want to see what's due on a weekly basis. This is what I call the unit view, and then finally there's a date view. This is where you would set up the dates. In any event, I'm going to go into part 1, and I'm actually going to start with the alphabetic indexing because it looks like that's got more in it than the first couple of chapters. So the idea here is that there's some reading, and then there's some self-checks and some cross-referencing and so on and so forth as they read through the book. Now, these initially say count towards grade. You can, of course, change those to practice. So, okay. And then when I go into the applications, there are different activities here. Again, as I mentioned, it throws in the kitchen sink, so you can choose which activities you want. So this is one, it's a cross-referencing, tells you if you need the cross-referencing. I'm sure you would be able to assess this much better than I would, as I don't teach this subject. But this is just an idea of one of the assignments. And there's a study guide with some practices as well as some quizzes. And then there's some activities that go along with this too. Okay, and I guess because we're on this type of an activity, there's a table and you have to indicate whether there's a cross-reference that's needed, and that's how that one looks. So again, you can take a look through these, but one of the things you had mentioned to me is about the SAM. So there's supplementary activities too. So you can see there's a lot here. One thing you can do if you decide, for example, you don't want them to see these quizzes, you can either hide the individual thing or you can hide the entire section. So if this is just all too much and you only want them to do a couple of things, you can come in here and just hide the things that are not relevant and then show the things that are. So here you can see that I've had some things that are hidden, and then there's some other things that are not hidden. This entire section is hidden. So that's how you would go about really customizing this for your own records management course. All right, so I'll close this down, just collapse those, and then I'll take you into the SAM part because that's really what you were asking me mostly about. So in the SAM part, this is where they'll actually get experience with the, I believe this is an Access database. Yeah, this is an Access database. So they would click the Start button, and then they would download the instructions. So you can see these are downloading right here. And then this is their start file. So they would open this. So now you can see that I have my start file is over here and my directions are over here. Okay, so if I were to open this up, then it says to download the start file, which we just did, blah, 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 and it always comes up with their first name and last name. If you look at mine, you can see if I were to open this up, then it would have my first name _ last name on the Access database itself. So mine opened on my second screen, so I'll just move that over. And you can see that mine is, well, okay, because I'm you, it's named Janet Lehr. So you would want to then go ahead and change it so that there's a number 2 there. And then these are the project steps. So it says to open the customer thing, do this, and then there's some steps in here. There's usually 10 to 15, but definitely a nice size chunk, but not so much that they can't do it. So they basically follow the steps and they perform those things on their start file, and once they are done, then they would submit their file right here, and it would give them, if you choose to configure it this way, that they would give immediate access to how well they did, and then if you give them another shot at submitting it, then they could submit a corrected file. So that's how the SAM piece works. And since you were curious about the integration with Blackboard, I went ahead and I'm on my demo server now, and I have created a records management course in Blackboard, and then I've just created a content area over here and I have a course level link that would take me out to MindTap, and then I've also pulled in a couple of graded activities. So I'm going to go over to this chapter 1, true and false, and just show you how it drops right into that true and false. Okay, so just by clicking on that link in Blackboard, it has now taken me over to MindTap, and here I am in my chapter 1 true and false quiz. So I could go ahead and start that. Now what I'm going to do is emulate a student so that I can show you the grade return. Okay, so now I'm a student, and I'm going to go to MindTap, and I'm going to go to that same chapter 1 true and false quiz. Okay, so I've answered all of these questions, and I really didn't pay too much attention but as to whether they're right or wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and submit it, and hopefully I got at least one right. Okay, so I got a couple right. All right, so that's good. So now if I close this out and I return to Blackboard, then when I returned to MindTap and I got out of the student view, and you can see that my Hansen preview account, which is my student preview account, these grades automatically transferred over. So it created a gradebook column called Chapter 1 True False. You can see that over here. Quick column information. There's my Chapter 1 True False quiz. And you can see that those 3 points automatically flowed over. Those are the questions that I got right on that. So hopefully that helps. Please do give me a call if you have any questions or want to talk about this further, or after you've explored it a little bit, if you want to move forward, I can help you with that. Okay, Janet, have a great day.